Saturday morning. Let's get this morning rolling. Hopefully everybody's got some coffee and everything. Actually, kind of oddly enough, already around in this area that we're at, it's actually the summer's been really mild, I would say, this year, and it seems to be tapering a bit already here in August. And so we're at almost about the first part of August is going to be over here. And it just moves so fast, but really interesting. So, but I think I think this winter it might be a bit colder. I don't know. We'll see, and we'll see what it brings. So anyway, we'll see how it is and how it rolls out. But anyway, we've got some comments here to read. And also, I wanted to touch on before we read the comments that I'm not sure how many of you go over there or watch the content over there, because I do. Unfortunately, my brother, the Crazy Scotsman, is bracing for back surgery, which is a horrible thing. I think that's everything. That's going under the blade in any way is something we all want to avoid. I've been there myself. It's no fun. So I'm really I'm just sad to hear that. But stay strong, brother, and I hope that everything works out for the better and the best. I think. I'm not sure what everything, if we got any kind of fundraisers going on or anything like that for him. I believe there is. I'm so bad with computers as it is. So, but anyway, that's just it's a bummer. But prayers are with you, and speedy recovery and all that. So, and any assistance that you can get. We'll see, see how things shake out. So anyway, Godspeed, my friend. All right. Sean Lee says, lovely 1911s on the table. Switching it up a bit. Oh, Sean is switching it up, everybody. Sean has switched it up. All right. What's your favorite Smith & Wesson revolver that's not a Model 29? Happy Saturday morning, y'all. Oh, that's not a Model 29. Boy, that's the, because everybody knows the Smith & Wesson Model 29 is if I could only have the one Smith revolver, that would be the one. Hot coffee. All right. Jeffrey Richardson says, good morning, 100%. Agree with you on the gold cups. I let mine go years ago. Springfield looks great. And what we're talking about with the gold cups is, I'll be the first one to agree that I'm not the biggest fan of them. They're really nice looking. They got a lot of features that I like, especially that flat top look. Of course, my heart is always with just the plain Jane model, but I've got two. I've had a little bit more than I had. I had another one. I let that go. But they rattle. Mine rattle. I don't know. Mine just are rattle traps. So I'm not too. That's just my thing on them. They're great guns. They're historical and they're really expensive. They are not cheap. But and I didn't even go. I didn't bring it out. I should have put a hand on it. I've got a vintage 1970s gold cup that's a 45 auto. I probably don't deserve to have that gun because I don't shoot it at all. But anyway, here's one from Joe P. My man Joe P. Good morning, JW. Loved the movie Cobra. And love that Rennie Santoni played Gonzalez, was also in Dirty Harry. Yes, that is and of course my man Joe, my fellow movie buff. Cobra and Dirty Harry have so much in common. It's not funny. Oh, not only Rennie and I know you know this, Joe, but come on, the bad guy, Andy Robinson is the sleazeball. I forget what he is, but he's always And one of my favorite lines in that is when he's coming out of the grocery store after lay wasting to the always default bad guy in all those movies from back then. I forget the actor's name, but he's always like the default bad guy in every movie from that time. I feel so bad for him because he's always labeled as like the bad guy, and he's even a maniac cop, and he's like the guy that robs the gas station or something. But anyway, he's actually a good actor. If he, he gets carded all the time as a bad guy, but I think I've seen him in a couple where he's actually a good guy, and he's actually a really good actor. He really is. But he does play that character really well. But my favorite part in Cobra is definitely when he's coming out of that grocery store. And somebody says, did you have to use violence? Did you have to use this? And did you have to use excessive force? Blah, blah, blah. Did you use this? And then his response is, I used everything I had. I love that. Good old Stallone movies, I tell you, they never let you down. At least a great handful of them. Always like, you know what, another one is totally cheeseball. And I forget when it came out. It came out... it's one of the newer ones. It was after his run through the 80s and 90s. It's the remake of Get Carter that Michael Caine originally did, which is oddly Michael Caine is in it too. But he just has the total the machismo lines in it. It's like, guy comes, are you Carter? And he's like, yeah, and you don't want to know me. So... So yeah, great stuff. We got a movie here. I got to share this one with you guys. Slim Fire says, "Good morning, JW. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I have a Colt Gold Cup I purchased from Gunbroker 3 years ago, and so far it's not rattling. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that because mine do. But it does have some side to side movement." And you're right about the looks of the Colt. It's nice. Thanks for the video, Slim. Yeah, the Gold Cup is probably one of their most amazing looking 1911s. It really is. It just has a really decked out look. It's got a lot of features, but it didn't detract from. It didn't make it look ugly, like it didn't tack on everything but the toaster or something. But yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, and I wouldn't part ways with mine. I just wouldn't. They're cool. If you like 1911s, they are kind of there's a cool factor to them without a doubt. I didn't want anybody to feel like we're just trashing the Gold Cup. They're nice. They really are. And I have more other ones that rattle too. It's not just the Gold Cup. It just seems that my 9mm Gold Cup seems to be like it shakes, it rattles and rolls more than a Rockola jukebox. All right, the Crazy Scotsman. Oh yeah, 1911s on the table. Something just about the 1911. Always great to see, and to top it off your awesome grips. So glad I have a set as well. Well, that's really cool. I'm glad to, I really didn't know how many people bought the grips, or I didn't know how much, people actually had an interest in the grips I was doing. I did have help with the getting them up on the time when we were doing all that and having help with all that. I just remember, I can't even remember how many I made for that, but it was, it was really, there was much love for that, and I do appreciate that. It was more about the fact that somebody liked what I was doing enough to want to have a set of their own, and that was really cool. That meant the most to me. It says I have obviously this is after the before the fact. I have an orthopedic appointment Tuesday. We'll keep you posted. Um, Slim Fire says good luck with your appointment. Hope all is well. All right. This one is from Warren, and Warren says, "Hi, Bat Jack. I agree with on the Springfield being the better production 1911 manufacturer. Yeah, Springfield Armory. I gotta say it's you know what, across the board. Now I'm just speaking on their 1911s. That's that's my thing. Also, I will tell you this: that one that the high power copy. If you're going to buy one of the high power copies, the Springfield's the one to get. All right. The other good thing about their lineup is the specs are the same across the board. Forge frame and slide, cold hammer forge barrel. I would like a Nighthawk Thunder Ranch 9mm. Yeah. Definitely, yeah. You can tell the Springfield Armory. Like I have that one that I've got. It's a Commander, lightweight Commander 9mm, and I've shot the snot out of that thing, and it doesn't really. I mean, it's a little rocky, but nothing like I mean, it's still solid, and that's an aluminum frame 1911. All right, this one comes from JB6027. Sorry, I don't know what the codes here sometimes are. I'm a Springer Dan Wesson guy myself, but all you have to do to a Gold Cup is shoot duty loads is to change out the recoil spring. They were popular duty gun back in the day because of the target sights. You'd be better off getting a loaded Springer though. I agree with you, definitely. Agree with you on the Wilson Combat Mags. Also, I have a couple 1911s that work perfectly, only with Wilson Combat Mags. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I'm not, I'm not here to. I'm not going to sit there and be bought and paid for to advertise a product. If I talk about a product or speak highly of a product, it's because I spent my own hard-earned money on it, and I find that it works. I find that it works. Stuff that's junk, we just toss it away, and really just I try not to bring them up. But over the years, that's one thing I noticed, that with all the 1911 magazines that I was trying and having, I had noticed that the Wilson Combat Mags were absolutely the best. It was like, what, these things work, they don't fail me, and so I stuck with them, and I will stay by them because I really do. I think now with everything, with the cost of a lot of stuff, I think that price point has really kind of almost leveled itself out across the board, where you'll probably pay about 40, anywhere between that, $40-$45 for one of their magazines. You might even catch them sometimes. I've caught things on sale on Wilson's website, and whenever he's running the sales, that's the best time to pick up anything grips. Grips magazines and things like that is usually a good time to scoop some of that stuff up. I myself scooped up a set of grips from them when they were running a sale. Got a really good price on them. Although his grips are made by, I think he outsources them to Hogue or something. But that's fine. If you got one, you like a nice set of his grips on there. Get them when they're on sale. But his magazines for sure, I definitely, I pretty much only run those. I don't run any other magazines. I don't even fool with them. Not trying to go out and bash all the other brands and products out there, but I just, I myself, I'm not going to buy any of the other ones. I'm not going to, waste my time taking them to the range or anything like that. I just pretty much use the Wilson Combat Mags. And I mean, it's not like Wilson's paying me or anything like that to say this kind of stuff. I don't fool with any of that. If it works and it works good, I'm going to tell you. And there's other brands out there that work. I'm sure they work. I'm kind of like, I know this works for me, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But a really cool show, and this is actually, each one of them is, I think it's a different bit. And I saw the very first season, which had Woody Harrelson in it, and the guy that talks funny. I can't remember his name. But anyway, it's got the other guy in it. But I mostly like Woody Harrelson. But anyway, the series is called True Detective. I wasn't that, like, totally, like, you know, like, oh my God, I got to keep watching this. Because every season's, like, different people. Well, season 4 has Jodie Foster in it. And I will admit I have a thing for Jodie Foster. So I had to see this. And this one's called True Detective Night Country, and it's based in Alaska. I love the look of this series. If you have not seen this, and when I'm talking about the series, I'm talking about this particular one, True Detective Season 4. You don't have to, they don't like match up with any of the other ones as far as I know. I don't really care. I didn't need to know anything. This one stands alone. But really liked it. It's great. I love the look of it. I love that Alaska, and then it's during that time where it's all blacked out. Everything is just, and she's investigating, some stuff. I tell you, she carries a lot of muscle in it. I don't know what kind of preparation she did for it, but she really plays. She's a police chief, I believe, in it, and she plays it really well. I was kind of wondering when I was going into it to watch it. I was like, I wonder how much of this is Clarice Starling in it, but it's not. It really is it's totally separate, and she tapped into something entirely different there, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. The twists and turns in it. I didn't feel like it. To me, it was not predictable for me. Like I said, some people enjoy them, some people don't. But I liked it. I had a really fun time with it. I really did. I thought she has a lot of really good dialogue and everything like that. And when it comes to movies, actors, actresses, and whatnot, I really don't care about the outside. I mean, to me, everything is that screen right there. Boom. I care about the entertainment value. I care about what what the story is about, what the movie's about, them as an actor. There's a lot of actors that I may not agree with them in their life, but I don't care about that. I love their movies. I love the art that they present and the art that they do in the films, and that's what it is. Because I'm a really big movie buff. I love those old movies and new movies as this. I have my favorite actors and actresses and people that I like to watch their movies, and she is definitely one of them. I love Jodie Foster. I think she's just wonderful. All right, so Sean had said to switch it up, so we did. So he's talking about Smith & Wesson revolvers that is not the Model 29. Well, my first always, which would have been kind of the first thing I've ever bought, is the Smith & Wesson Model 10 Snubby. And that would be my pick, I guess. That would have to be it. The snub nose Smith & Wesson Model 10. And it has to do with a movie. Those of you that have been with me for a long time, it has to do with the movie Witness with Harrison Ford and I think it's Kelly McGillis. I think I was thinking about Savalas, Kojak, but no, can't even mix those two up. How can they do that? But no, it's the Smith & Wesson Snubby, a Model 10. That would have to be it because it's a 6-shot snub-nose 38 K-frame, so it's fairly large. It's got the square butt and the really cool grips and everything, the original wood grips. So that would have to be the one right there. This is just a cool snub-nose revolver. There's a lot of cool ones out there, but I really just like that one for those reasons. But yeah, for that movie, that would have to be up there. I couldn't let that one go, even though I don't really shoot it. I just have it for the sake of the movie. That's about it. it's still this one's still really nice and done up. Obviously, long before all the other features that they have. But you know, and speaking of Smith and Wesson, like I said, I mean, those features that everybody dogs on, they don't really affect me. I don't really. They're not going to stop me from buying one. In fact, I did have. I do have an interest in the new Model 19 that they have, the 4-inch, because of the lock work on it and everything. That they went back into it, re-engineering things with the intention of 357 Magnum. This thing needs to handle the diet of 357 Magnum. So that does interest me. The other choice, honorable mention, I guess it would have to be, because I still got it, which I really like it because I'm really big into the 70s law enforcement. I love the 70s cop days, mostly just film, mostly film. I'm sure that, well, it's obviously, you know, the atrocities and things that the cops had to deal with, and also corruption things, that, you know, really bad times. But I love the 70s cop era films and everything, you know, Dirty Harry, you know, all the wham ball stuff, you know, the New Centurions and things like that. So, but would have to be the Model 28, the Highway Patrolman, because it was geared towards the police and everything. And it even says Highway Patrolman on the barrel, which is super cool. And this one here, I really like it. This is the way I got it, which is it's got the Magna grips and then the what are they called? The Tyler T grip thing here, right there. I left it all like that because that's the way this gun was set up when I bought it, and I love it. It's a big old end frame, so yeah, it's a big heavy duty gun for only holding 6 rounds or whatever, and then you know there's all that. But this was the bee's knees of its time. You know, this was it. I like the 4-inch barrel because that's the police model. That would have been, you know, what they would have carried. And so it's really cool. It doesn't have the lustrous finish or anything like that, but it doesn't need to, and I'm actually glad. That's why I kind of like this one. This is the workhorse. It doesn't have the checkering on the top. Basically, it's kind of a dulled down Model 27, which is fine. I'd rather have this one because I really like it. It's the Highway Patrol. It's got a big, thick forcing cone on the inside, and for those of you that don't know what that is the end of the barrel, basically, that's turned down and screwed into the frame, and that's what welcomes the projectile from leaving the cylinder and going into the barrel. And that's a lot of times that's what takes the major impacts of stuff. And it a lot of times they can crack. It's one of the things I check out when I'm buying a used revolver, especially something like that. And that one is, I tell you, and I don't shoot no like hardcore blowing down buildings rounds out of my stuff. I usually shoot fairly moderate stuff, fairly moderate 38s, and I do load. I have been loading a little bit of 357 Magnum lately because of my Python, but nothing super hot. I don't hot rod my stuff, and it's just I'm just going to the range shooting paper and stuff like that, or knocking down steel. That's all I'm doing. So anyway, but there's my couple of picks and everything. The other thing I wanted to just kind of touch on a little bit before I get out of here and let you guys get on with your weekend is that I look on those auction sites a lot, and you know, there's things where you look at it, stuff on there, and it's like it's what things are priced at, what people are trying to sell things at. Man, I tell you, I look at some of that stuff and I'm like, that's a heavy price, and it's not worth it. The gun or whatever, it's not worth it. Like, you know, I mean, like, what is it? We talked about it last week. That World War I reproduction, a replica gun that Colt had put out. they went back to, it was 2009, 2008 or something like that when they made them. I seen those things. Now that gun when it originally came out, from to my understanding, was like an $800 gun. It was like $800. Now you look, and I've seen some where they're like $2,300. My God. Okay. Aside, taking the cool factor out of it, that it says, it's like the replica of the military model, which is super cool, and it's brand new. It's a brand new model. Aside from that, if you take away that, just take it for what it is. It's a 1911. It's got the old features. As far as slide the frame, barrel, the meat and potatoes of the thing. The gun's not worth it. It's just not worth that price tag. It's not anything that's like totally like unbelievable. Like custom guns. To me, once they start, like you start getting into like these numbers like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for some of these custom 1911s. Holy smokes! Like really, what? Like I'm not against them, but damn, show me where's this coming from? That's for me. That's I'm just out of it. I can't. No, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't post lottery winnings, so maybe. But I'm pretty much in the realm of the $600, $700, $800 range, and I'm tapped, and that's it. So anyway, hope you guys have a good weekend. Get out of there, stay safe, everybody. I'm really glad that everybody likes tuning into the shows, and thanks Sean for kind of directing this one here and where we were going to go and what we're going to talk about. So that does take into account here. Again, if we missed your comment or whatever, it's probably after the fact or for whatever reason it didn't make it to the list. I don't know. Things getting funny around here on this platform, so we'll stick around as long as they'll allow us.